Hey, we back.
We are live, and it is Nikki Scarpo in the place to be, along with my homeboy, my partner in facts and everything that's black. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, most definitely. Izzy Wildstar. Give him all of the extra.
I already know. Hit us at Atmosphere Productions. You know, we getting it off, man. Videography, photography. We doing it all up in there. You know, we still got the music going. Yehudi Gang. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, everything. Atmosphere Candles as well. Be looking out for that new commercial coming out soon because it's going to be popping. So we're doing big things. Big things.
Hey, you know, we too blessed to stress, you know what I'm saying? But we must confess that it has been life, you know, for both of us that has been taking place. As we show up live and do it unapologetically style, you know what I'm saying? Every Monday at 8 o'clock p.m., depending on, you know what I'm saying, what state you in, time zone, you know what it is. But yeah, we definitely didn't have to deal with life. So we apologize for that, even though we're not supposed to. But if you've been tuned in, and you know, we don't apologize for being the black men that we are, for coming up the way that we came up, and for knowing what we know. We don't apologize for that, but we do have respect. That's the bottom line always. In any relationship, besides communication being number one, you got to respect each other. So we do apologize if we left you hanging. We didn't mean no harm by that, you know, and we hope we can pick up where we left off, and no harm, no foul.
Absolutely.
Already.
All right, man. So what we got today?
What we got today is parenting. You know, how it goes down in the black community and how that affects, of course, like I remember coming up when people used to do something that they used to think was ignorant, you know what I mean, lacked a certain amount of class. They used to say, he don't got no home training. She don't got no home training. You know, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe that's something we need to talk about. Because, you know, I mean, hey, I don't judge people. You know, I don't want to be that guy. But we would like to get some people to check in with us, tap in, let us know how they go about doing things. You know, as far like, is it how you were raised, and that's why you raised your kids that way, or is it because how you were raised, you wouldn't dare raise your kids that way? You know, it go both ways. You know. And one thing that I've noticed when it comes down to parenting, as far as blacks compared to Caucasians or whites, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just trying to get some examples and some different. So don't take me the wrong way, all right? Because I've actually gone to school in rural Kansas, Hutchinson. Look it up, Google it. Smallest spot, but I was there. You know what I'm saying? And I saw white kids talk to their parents in a way that was like completely worthy of death. Compared to how I came up, it's like, wait a minute, bro. You finna hit the gallows, the electric chair, lethal injection, like a
you must not know fear, because I would not dare talk to my mama with that.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've heard, fuck you, mom. I've heard that before. You know, bitch, I've heard that before. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm 100% with you. I've been in the car with one of my friends, and his mom called him, and he was like, "Whatever, man, just fucking leave me alone." And I'm like,
"Yeah, what? Leave you alone? I tell you what, I leave the door locked. Matter of fact, I'm gonna change him. You find somewhere else to stay until you get some act right about yourself. Don't come back this way." And you know, it hurts for a parent to say that to their child, though. And that's why they become tolerant of certain things. And I'm speaking from the black aspect. And I mean, I'm a parent. So I know that there's some things that I don't do when it comes to how I handle my kids, because I didn't have it. And the parenting that I did have that I didn't agree with, then I curbed it. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do it this way instead, you know. But it's like when you have a child that's rebellious, all right. In the Bible, what does it say? It says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Okay. All right. Now, I've been told that my whole life, but guess what? I found out later in life that the rod, now this is a matter of interpretation now. This is depending on how you view it, who you schooled you or whatever. But a rod is also an instrument of measure. and carpentry or whatnot. Like whoever wanted to make a straight line and didn't have a ruler and found the edge of a book, you see, something that was straight to make sure that the line wasn't crooked or slanted. Okay. So in my interpretation, the rod is straightening the child, directing the child, not letting the child become crooked. All right. So what they say, you know what I'm saying, when somebody become a criminal, what they call them a crook. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Somebody sleep the wrong way on their, on their neck, then what they call it a crook in their neck.
Yeah.
All right. You see what I'm saying? But crook appears to be the base word of crooked, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to Webster or Merriam or none of them to try to determine if I'm just saying, just from my interpretation. So if you allow the kid to go crooked, that's because you were not there to be that barrier, that guardrail on the highway of life. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to apply your wisdom, your hindsight, to situations to make sure that your child doesn't go through the same heartache, headache, whatever ache that you went through when you was their age. If you can help it. You know what I'm saying, Izzy?
Yeah. No, most definitely. Like in the Bible, it also states that, God chastises those that he loves. So it's like when you love, your child, chastising is a part of it, because it's like you have to learn right from wrong. There's certain things that right from wrong, but then there's also things that you have to be taught. Like if nobody taught you these things, sometimes that stuff can can end in bad results. If you ain't got nobody that'll direct you. So like if a little kid's going towards the steps, if I tell you no, because I don't want you to fall down the stairs and hurt yourself. I know I'm at the point where I can understand gravity, and I understand that your legs ain't strong enough to handle walking down these stairs like that. You're not ready for that yet. So it's like chastising, it's also, and this also goes into like the parenting that we do. It's like sometimes, or I'm going to say sometimes, you never want to, punish your children in anger. Yeah. Like where you're angry and you're now overly punishing them, because now your hits are harder when you're angry. You may not notice it because you just in this emotion at the time, but it's like the point of it is, like you said, direction, straightening you out. Point like me hitting you as hard as I can to just whoop you. Like
what? No, there's levels to this shit.
What?
There's levels to it now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to have some reserve.
What is the child learning from that? Especially if you don't do it, has to be a balance, right? Like sometimes people get a whooping and then they're not even told or explained to why. Like they may not fully understand why they getting this whooping. So I make it a habit, with my children, to explain to them, why you getting this whooping. And 9 times out of 10, I done told you about 15 times, even though daddy say, you do that one more time, I'm finna get you. One more time really be like 12 times, before I actually get you. But it's like, cause like I want to be lenient with you. Like, I don't want to I want to give you that benefit of the doubt that you're a kid, but it's like, I want you to also make the right choices because you've done it before. So you know how to do it. It's just, you actually doing it now. So, you gotta have that balance, and then you got to talk to them and you got to whoop them. Cause if you just talk to them, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen? You going to talk to me?
Well, I mean, it all depends on who's. Sit your ass down. You see what I'm saying? See, I got your attention. See, so it all depends on. You see what I'm saying? But using profanity and being vulgar and using lingo that comes from the culture that you're raised in, because it's all about intention, right. You see, and context. All right. But if you yell at a child all the time, then pretty soon you sound like what we all saw, Peanuts, Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. The teacher, we never saw, we just heard that we didn't understand, but that's what it sounded like to the kids. Mm-hmm. Wah, 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 wah. Like basically, shut the up. We ain't got time for that. That's really the key perspective. on it. It took me to become an adult really to realize that's what was going on there, you see. But if you are putting your hands on your child before you talk to your child, if you yell at your child before you talk to you, see, that's what I mean when I say it's levels. Now, I'm saying that because I've raised kids. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I mean, sometimes you do have to be qualified. You heard me say before on several occasions, well, I'm not a graduate of this. I'm, not alumni of that. But it doesn't mean I'm stupid. It doesn't mean I'm dumb. It doesn't mean I'm ignorant. Maybe ignorant to some things. Everybody don't know everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, but parenting, I can say I got some experience in that department. And when my oldest daughter, shall I say, came to me after she moved out, and she said, "Dad, we always with punishment. You always yelling, now. But hey, now I'm gonna be honest with you. My kids, I was young. Let's say I started early when it comes down to that. Okay, so and I didn't have mom or dad around consistently to guide me. So I'm doing what I think should be done, but lacking, the example or the comparison, or the actual, like, oh, what my mom said. Just don't get me wrong. I got a mom. I got a daddy. All right. But when and I've spent more time with them as an adult than I did when I was a kid. So when I say I didn't have them, I don't want to make it seem like, okay, I was just an orphan. No, that's not the case. All right. But let's put it to you this way. In the years that I've been on this planet, I've had maybe 6 conversations on the telephone with my dad. One of those conversations lasted for about 5 hours with an intermission in between. All right. Now, I've seen him maybe 3-4 times in my life, somewhere around there. My mom, on the other hand, 3rd grade to 5th grade, that was the consistency as far as the time that we was together. We didn't even finish out 5th grade together. All right. And that's when I moved to the rural part of Kansas that I was just speaking on. So when you do the math on that, okay, you can understand where I'm coming from when I say, okay, I didn't have my mom or my dad around. All right. But I got cousins who had mom and dad, and had mom because she was one, be the blank. I'll tell you that much. You see what I'm saying? So I got a cousin, my older, he's an older cousin, and his mother, he a single mom, but she didn't take no shit. You see, but she didn't have to. You see, now don't get me wrong, he was a male, so he gonna push the envelope naturally. When she put her foot down, she put her foot down. But it was because of how she handled him coming up, not just with raising her voice at him or whooping him, but she provided for him. You see, so when you talk about kids getting Jordans and, the fly this, fly that, or whatever, he might not have had everything, but he didn't want for too much. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when you can reward a child just by the lifestyle that you provide them, then when you say you do that, and I'm gonna take this away, or you're not gonna be able to do that, then you get their attention because they become accustomed to shit.
No, I feel growing up like me, I'm a gamer, so I used to game all the time growing up, bro. Whenever something bad happens, like, hey, I'm gonna take that game. I'm like, oh shit, like,
oh, there's more than one way to skin a cat. You know what I'm saying? For real.
For me, it was like whoopings. I got whoopings and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, but like at some point, whoopings was like not the thing to do. It's like you got to elevate past that.
Yeah, not when I'm out in the street and I'm throwing jabs, uppercuts, and crosses and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Playing football on concrete, tumbling on concrete, killing man.
The stuff that we doing outside, like a whooping, is like,
yeah, come on, it's nothing. I'll never forget the time. It was, and I grabbed the belt like I'm a ninja. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? And my mama, she told me, and this was in between that 3rd and 5th grade year, like, wait till your daddy get home. He's my stepdad, but that's my dad though. I ain't gonna take nothing from him because whether I was in the home with him or not, he's still been present in my life. You see what I'm saying? Just because he never said he was done with me, regardless of what was going on with him and my mama. You see what I'm saying? I still had a line, to him. And even when I didn't expect it, he'd show up and show out and do things. So I'm going to give my respect. But one thing that I do know is that he whooped my ass the most, flat out. And them 2.5 years, I got my ass beat. I remember being held up by an ankle, bro. You know what I'm saying? No clothes on, like a chandelier, like whelps on my yellow ass and all that, bro. I promise you, I never, you know what I'm saying? But one of these times had to do with me using profanity and cussing at my mama because she made me come in from playing out in the snow, and I ain't want to come in. I want to stay out there in the cold and build snowman and throw snowballs. So when she made me come in, I'm walking up the steps to my room. I'm gonna hit you. All of that shit the kids do, you know what I'm saying? And why was my dad in my bed? Why? Why are you taking a nap in my room? Now, that means that I didn't know what was going on with mom and dad. He was up there for a reason. He had a whole damn bed. You see what I'm saying? But we never discussed that. So back to what you were saying about taking shit out on your kids. You see what I'm saying? So while he up there trying to get away from my mama, from whatever they going through, here I come giving them a reason to give me the business. You see? So these are the things that I remember in my mind as far as like, no, that ain't the way to handle a kid, but I still know that they did that for a reason because I was cussing. You see what I'm saying? I know I was doing wrong. You feel me? So you do have to be honest with yourself when you deal with your kids. What was the response that you had when your parents dealt with you like this? But why did they deal with you like that? You see, it was a reason why that happened. So what do they say? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's broken when you treating your kids like slave masters treated the slaves, when you making them strip naked and whipping them with extension cords and belts and punching them. How many times you heard somebody say, I'll chop you in your throat, I'm gonna smack the taste out of your mouth, I'm knock you out, wait till we get home, you see? But what it's doing is not just driving a wedge between the parent and the child, it's teaching the child that behavior, period. So needless to say, yeah, from the way that I was disciplined, that's the way I discipline my kids. And so after the fact, I look back and I hear my daughter telling me, well, Daddy, this was this was that. And I'm like, well, I got to take that into consideration. You see, I can't just act like that went in one ear and out the other and not paying no attention to my daughter, who I know love me, and she know I love her, but she's old enough now to speak her mind without no consequence in her mind. You see what I mean? She like, okay, because it's like, yeah, you can say certain things, but you don't want to piss your parents off either. But what does the scripture say? It says, what, your children honor your mother and your father, and so they will, live long in the days, all of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. But it also says right behind that, parents don't provoke your children. And they never say that. They don't want to tell you that because it's possible to go too far and deserve the rebellion that you're getting out of your kid. You see, because God is in all of us. You see, so don't disrespect my essence because my flesh is younger or lesser. That's not the right thing to do. And when you don't have parents that have that instilled in them, then they go about things like it's my way or the highway. Well, what I say go, and which is the truth, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. All of that. Now my people backstage, the camera, key grip, all of that, you know what I'm saying? My people up in the booth, flipping the switches and whatnot. You got those pictures that I was asking you for. Could you post that so we could get an idea of different settings, I guess, or different parenting styles that exist in our culture that I might be able to point out and Elaborate on. Is that possible? Talking to the legend back there. How you doing, buddy? You with me? There we go. Oh, what's happening, family? For sure. All right. So while my people, you know what I'm saying, putting those things together, we gonna do I have I don't know if my man is frozen or not. I'm not sure. Is he? Oh, you with me? Okay. We're gonna keep it rolling. All right, yeah, okay, for sure. He moving up. I'm like, bro, you were straight up like, I could have swore you was froze, bro. That was a hell of a pose, bro. Straight up. All right.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on, man. Like we literally like all the power just went blue. I was like, what is going on? Yeah, man. Hey, I don't know what's going on with Texas power grid right now. It's wild.
Hey, well, actually, we do know, even though we don't. We know we still dealing with the recoil from the winter storm, and they still trying to get numbers. You know what I'm saying? Together,
yeah,
trying to see who to prosecute, who to fire, who to sue. You know what I'm saying? They trying to pin the tail on the donkey. That's what's going on right now. Yes, I need to do what you're doing, my beautiful queen. Are you in the range of my voice? Would you bring me a light? I love you. I hope you hear me. We'll see how that worked out. You know what I'm saying? See, you gotta be mindful of when. See, you can't be breaking the rules. One of my pet peeves is screaming through the house. You know what I'm saying? At the kids, baby, thank you. Like, I didn't mean to break up my own rule, but could you please bring me a lighter? Yeah. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I couldn't help it. But at least I'm accountable. And there we go. Most definitely. Oh, I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad to be back, bro.
Already.
They always trying to keep me down over here, but we transition into a new spot soon. So I'm gonna have the setup looking hella nice. So it's gonna be rocking it. We're gonna be rocking it, but
hey, we unapologetically black when it comes to that, though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to explain why it is where we at. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all got something y'all want to say about it? Hey, what we need to do? Put up the Cash App. Ain't that what we do? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the way you know what I'm saying. Put that Cash App up there. You know what I'm saying? That's what we can do. Start getting these donations rolling in. If it is what it is. But at the end of the day, gratitude. It's all about being grateful when it comes down to that, bro. No, I'm thankful to have you back. You know what I'm saying? You got to roll with the punches, as my granny used to say. You know what I mean? For sure. Anything worth keeping, worth fighting for. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep we got to fight for it.
So, what is your what is your parental style? Like, how do you approach parenting?
Now, I'm like. Well, I'm gonna say 180 because 360. But I'm gonna say I'm a 360 spiral with my parents on the upward. You see what I mean? Not on the down. You know what I mean? Because if you just going 360 around, you're in the same damn place you was before you started. So I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, we gonna go upward. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still rotating. I'm full circle with it already. But I am very patient when it comes to how I handle my children now. Even my grandchildren. Yeah, think about it. Yeah. So Smurf if you want to, you know what I mean? But I'm very patient. And I tell my son now, that's under my roof or whatever, like, man, you ain't got no clue. Your older brother and sister, man, boy, if they saw how I deal with you, they'd be, man, mad at me. Because you get a pass that they didn't. You dealing with a different version of me. You see what I'm saying? So back to the taking stuff away. Well, what you do, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got too much yourself and your kids, you're going to put them first. but you still dealing with, okay, well, I got to budget all of this shit, you know what I mean? And games don't come before the bills getting paid, you know what I mean? Now, I'm not speaking no sob story, but trust me when I say this story is a story that exists in homes right now today.
Right.
Where just because I don't have the money to buy you these jeans, these shoes, this game or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Don't mean that you're not supposed to still do as I asked you to do. I shouldn't have to tell you to do anything. I should be able to say what it is that I want, and I should be able to say it like I need you to do something for me. And you should appreciate me enough based on how I treat you to feel compelled and obligated to do so. You see? So that's really my approach now, is not to throw something in your face, but you know that I allow you to do this, and you know that I did this for you. You know, you didn't have to ask me for this, that, and the third. I did it anyway. You didn't expect this, and it popped up, and look at the smile on your face. You see, so reciprocate. That's all I'm asking you to do. Fair exchange is no robbery, not at all. You see, because you're not going to always be this age under my roof. And eventually I want to be able to have an adult conversation with you and be on a friendship basis with you. But you have to respect me and appreciate me in order for us to arrive at that place. You see, because I don't give a damn who you are. You don't respect me. Fuck you. You ain't my friend. You see what I'm saying? That's all it is to it. Pardon my French. You see what I'm saying? But
no, I feel you.
You know, that's the truth. So I try to get that, you know, out of the way, you know, and understood out the gate. And my grandkids, the way I talk to them, like I had them all like last summer. And don't get me wrong, it was a challenge. Oh, they gave me a run for my money. Oh my goodness. You know, bro, and I'm telling you, and I told people that I was getting them all, and they was just like, you got all of them? Like they was like, what? Like, you crazy is what they wanted to say. That's what they want. But no, I'm like, no, because it's about the memories.
Absolutely.
It's about the memories. So I moved from my place of birth to a different city, different state, and they didn't come with me. So it's not their fault that Papa not present in the same city, and they ain't able to come over on the weekend. And it breaks my heart when Papa's princess, you know what I'm saying, say, can I come over? Can I want, you know, and I'm like, oh man, damn. You know, so, but it took, you know, last summer for them to see, okay, but this why you ain't been over Papa and Gigi house. Because it take a long time to get there, you know. So they got that. They understand that, but they still, after they went through it, like, when we coming back? You see what I mean? When we coming back? But they wouldn't be in a rush to get back to some place where they were yelled at, screamed at, whooped, and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So it is that patience that I have with them. But they, like I said, they gave me a run for my money. And man, look, it wasn't until they was like kind of giving my wife the business, in my opinion. And if I had her in here, she would be like, but I had it under control. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe it was me. Maybe I was just fed up with you having to tell them to sit down, and I'll be accountable. You know what I'm saying?
You got to remember, that's your patience that's weird there, not her patience.
That's right. Well, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. When my wife got to gather everybody around in a circle and have them sit down and do a yoga pose, you see what I'm saying? She's trying her best to get things to be calm. And when they not being still, and this has been going on, they're like back to back to back to back to back. No. She should be, remember I was just saying, I should be able to ask you. I shouldn't have to tell you anything, you see, because I give without you having to ask. I do without you having to ask. And when you do press my buttons, I act like you ain't pressed nothing. So we're not going to act like that's going to be normal. That's not the norm. No, that's not it. So it came to a point where man, when they say you don't know your own strength, man, trust me, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. I'm definitely that guy. Not to say I'm Hercules or something. I'm just being like, trust me, I didn't want a hole in my wall just because I knocked on it and it was like, bam. I'm like, damn, who built this shit? It must have already been there. What was this? Did they go over this or something? Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I couldn't, but no, that's drywall. But I barely touched it in my mind. You see? But that was that energy that was built up. So if I put a fucking hole in the wall by barely touching it, what do you think it feels like on a child's bottom or leg or hand?
Especially as a male, too.
Flat out. So that all that did was reinforce my theory. Like, no, that's not the way to go.
Yeah, whoopings ain't always like, so like with my son, like he's very smart. So like, but the one thing he hates is going to bed. So like there'll be times when he acting up, it's like it don't even require a whooping. You know, it's like I can be like, oh no, go to the room and go take a nap. He's just like, no. Like it like breaks him down. Like it's the worst thing ever. Like a whooping, he gonna get over in like a few minutes. But like being told you gotta go take a nap, nah, stop doing all that fun stuff.
You see? There you go. And I got to go be by myself, and I got to close my eyes. And yeah, I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna miss something.
Like I go in there, hey, shut the door. He be in there, just hey, Echo, play some music, some sleepy music. Music for.
That's why my wife used to run the facility like this. She have on some jazz or it ain't no words. It's like you in Japan.
That's what we do instrumentals, bro. We put some lo-fi hip hop on there. We'd be like, all right, or some EDM music because we versatile over here, you know. So they go to sleep just already. Like my daughter, like oh man, like she be like I love those moments though, you know, because my son like he operates kind of like he's only 3. But he operates at like a 6-year-old, 7-year-old level, like just how he moves with the things that he's able to do and stuff. So, but he's still like emotionally still like a 3-year-old, you know. So it's like there's times where
allow him to be 3.
You know, he want to act out.
Don't let him. Don't hold him accountable. See, that's the thing. They're like, no. See, because I know, you know what I'm saying, that you're capable, and I know you know better because of what you've shown me in the past.
Right.
You see, that's the shit you deal with at your job and at school.
Very independent, bro. Like he always be like, no, I want to do this myself. Oh, I want to go do this. Like I can do it myself, Daddy. Let me do this. Yeah, like so. The more stuff that he does himself, it's like that's the less stuff I have to do because like you already taken the initiative to do it. And like I mean, like I said, there's not much that he can't do. Like the only things that he's not able to do is things that are like he's not tall enough. You know,
he tying his shoe.
No, he can't tie a shoe yet. But he definitely tries to learn though. Like whenever he does it, like he already like, oh, let me put on my clothes by myself. Like when I tell him to go get his clothes, I'm like, hey, go get your clothes. He'll go in there and get his own, like pick out his own.
Picking out his fit.
Yes.
Do they match?
He will go get and he'll go get his shoes. I'm like, hey, go get your good shoes.
Because you know, kids, all they know is these are what I like. They don't really care. I want my Spider-Man shoes, my Batman t-shirt, you know what I'm saying? My Flash balls and these shorts or these jeans, these sweatpants.
And matches. And then he'd be like, where my socks? My black socks. I need my black socks. And then he'll go get his black socks.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, bro. I love it.
And then it's just like, but then all of a sudden, especially because my daughter just turned 1, so you know she's still a baby, but like she's like right behind him, like she's just as like active and this and that, and but you know she's still a baby, so we still do like baby stuff with her, you know, and he'll see that and then just want to revert back to wanting to be like a 3-year-old now, like oh, but I need this now. And it's just like hilarious to see that because it's like
he's smart enough to know to revert though.
I mean, that's true because it's like because sometimes I found myself it's just like he's getting just like bigger and bigger and like trying to be more and more independent. But then there's just moments where he runs back and it's just like daddy, 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 and then it's just like, oh man, like it's those are the moments you got to cherish, man. Like where when you're parenting and like for me, like having that relationship with my son is like very important for me because like my family is like really close, but then like me and my dad have like had issues, and even right now, like I mean, like we're like cool and everything, but at the same time, like our relationship, like just he's the type of person that's like I like things done my way, yada yada yada. And me, it's like I'm the one that's unorthodox in the family. I'm the one that's like, nah, I'm finna go do this. Like I'm gonna make my own path. Like I'm not finna do it this way. And it's like there's times where it's like
you
that's
be ready for that too now. You be ready for it. Like I say, you read what you know, right? So that means you already got to have your mind open, to that being in this 3-year-old that you're talking about. Because you see, he already got a mind.
Oh no, absolutely. That's why I have
to me on that.
I examined me and my dad's relationship, and I'm like how he parented. And then even just now, like as an adult, like how his interactions with me are as an adult. And it's just like, it's like, I don't want to imitate those same things. Like, cause there's certain ways that I feel about my dad. It's like, I don't want my son to feel that way about me, but it's also within the actions that, things that have happened in my life that that's the reason why there were choices that he made, things of that nature. Whereas me, it's like, the way that I'm in my kid's life is completely different. Like I'm like my kids know that like I love them for real, like without a doubt, just like even through all the whoopings, through all that, like I just spanked my daughter earlier today. You know what she did? Daddy. They like still ran back to me, even though I'm the one that just popped you and made you cry. You still ran back to me because it's like they know like that.
You ever played thumps? You ever, not to cut you off, you ever played thumps? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the way I raised my oldest, and yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, this is how I looked at it. Like, okay, you're not listening, I'll thump you on your ear. You talking too much, I'll thump you in the mouth. Your hard head, thump you upside your head. But I'm using my finger. You see, so if I got to use my hand.
I remember getting thumped in the back of them earlobes, boy.
Yeah. So if I got to use my hand, we got a problem. If I got to go get a belt, you done fucked up. You see what I'm saying?
I rarely ever bring out the belt. Like 9 times out of 10, it's like I've only had to use the belt on my son maybe like twice, but that's because he was like, "Hey, like you need to cut that shit out."
There we go. So we got one, and in those 14 years, he's felt the belt twice. You see what I'm saying? And one of them times was his mama was trying to whoop him, and he was just looking at her like, and I'm like, oh no, you show right. he learned this.
Trying to go hang on that ass.
Yeah, I'm like, no, because I was trying to give you a pass, but man, you gonna laugh at my wife because she trying to handle it, and she thinking that she is like, I'm gonna apply this much pressure, but that's not enough pressure for him. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. So now let me step in, because if you try to turn up, you might turn up too much, and then that's gonna scar him for life. So you see what I'm saying? Because
like, as a man, you can see the looking. It's different. Like that's why it's households are made for 2-parent households. Like it's like not the same thing against like single parents or anything like that, but like. I mean, statistically, it's shown that like your chance has the best chance of success with 2 parents in a household. Like having a father figure, because it's a balance. You have a nurturer, and then you have a discipliner.
Or a provider, and the provider that you need.
Exactly.
You might need discipline, and I will provide it.
Those can be interchangeable because there's where it's like if you have that relationship with your dad, like your dad is should be one of the biggest people that you as a man go to. Like because here as adults, like who do you go talk to? Your boys. When you need some shit done, you go talk to your homies. Like you don't go talk to your sisters or your girl. Like you talk to your girl about some stuff, your wife about some stuff, but it's like 90% of the shit that you're talking about that with your homies because you need a male perspective to deal with male issues. So it's like that's a reason why a father is important in the household. Like that in today's society, they try to diminish like the man's role. Like they try to make it seem like, oh, everything is all good. We don't really need a guy. Like I literally heard a girl say she wants to have a child like as a single parent. Like she's like, I mean, the father can be in the life if he wants to, but it's whatever. It's like, why do you want to deprive your child of one of the greatest things that they can have in life? Like,
bro, that's retarded. That's retarded. Let me tell you my opinion on this, bro, right quick. Not to cut you off, Izzy.
You good.
Family. Now, why would we not want the same entities that it took to create the child to raise the child? Why would we not? This is my bill. Why would we not want, you see, a man and a woman to stand together to raise the child? Why wouldn't we want that? When it took a man and a woman to make this child. That's dumb. That's asinine. That's stupid. It's retarded. It's less than intelligent, to say the least. You want it that way? That's the way you prefer it? When you got people who are like, man, if I had my mama, man, if I had my daddy, man, if I had my mama or my daddy, man, if I had my granny, if I had my grandpa, like, hold on, man, like, what kind of home did that person come up in? And we need to pray for her wholeheartedly and speak healing into her life, into her mind, into her heart, into her spirit, that she will recognize the necessity, that is actually being eliminated when she says she don't want the father to be in her child's life. He can be, but he don't have to be. Oh, well, that's an accident waiting to happen.
Like it's just optional, bro. Like I was like, what?
That's an accident waiting to happen. That's what that is. And the way that that's set up with her preferring that dynamic, and she'll be the one that's too proud to say she wrong when she realized that she need what she ain't having.
Exactly.
You see?
Because I've watched it. Like I watched it with my kids. Like there's times where there's nothing my wife can do when it comes like. She'll try her hardest dealing with them on certain stuff. And guess what? No, it requires daddy for this.
Hey, man, what's that movie? My wife made me watch it. The Shack. You ever seen that movie?
It sounds very familiar.
Look it up, bro. But I ain't gonna, no spoilers. Check the movie out. But just to basically, to delve into it without spoiling it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in the movie where there's dialogue that pertains to a person that needs parenting. And at the time they were receiving the information that they were receiving was necessary to come from the nurturer. But the nurturer also said, well, there are times that you will need a mom and there are times that you need a dad. This is the time that you need a mother. You see, so that's the whole nut in a nutshell, man.
I see. It's a drama fantasy.
You said what family?
The movie The Shack. It got Sam Worthington, Octavia Spencer, Tim McGraw.
I believe so.
Like a white dude and a black woman.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about who the white dude was. I saw him in another.
The one that played in Terminator. He played in Wrath of the Gods.
What's my dude name, man?
Played in a lot.
You talking about the dude from 300?
No, he wasn't in 300.
Okay, so okay, I do know who you're talking about. You're talking about Clash of the Titans, right?
Yep.
Now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, him.
Yep.
Him. Most definitely.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, please do. You know, but there are times when you do need a mother and you do need a father, you know, and it's fucked up when those times, you know, come about and you don't have either one, or you don't have one or the other. It's not cool. It's not.
Like,
you know,
and
then even the scriptures say don't lean on your own understanding. Well, who you gonna lean on if ain't nobody around to understand? I'm just saying.
Like at nighttime, bro, my daughter does not deal with me at night. Like soon as it's bedtime, bro, I don't exist. Only my wife exists. So I'm like, imagine trying to deal with that as a single parent.
Yeah, they go both ways.
you know,
I know some single fathers out here. Yeah, they exist. You know what I'm saying? I know some single black fathers out here. Yeah, they exist. They out here. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And they get child support. Oh, my bad. Shit, I said too much. Anyway, I'm just saying. Hey, shout out that's the truth
though. Shout out, because you know what? The single fathers don't get enough love. So shout out.
No. Bro, hold on, wait a minute. How many times has Father's Day came around and they'll say, shout out to all the single mothers who are, and tell them Happy Father's Day? The fuck out of here. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. That's whack as hell.
But that's what I said. Think about that. On Mother's Day, do men go around saying Happy Mother's Day?
I see you, family. I see you. Hats off to you. You know what I'm saying? Already.
On Mother's Day, do men go around saying Happy Mother's Day?
No, to the fathers that single. No, they don't. Matter of fact, that's very feminine. That's pretty hoish. That's pretty homosexual.
But think about that.
Masculine. I'm gonna say now, if you want to be gay, be gay. You want to be dyke, be dyke. You want to be lesbian, be lesbian. Hey, but guess what? One thing that I scratch my head, like I'll take off my glasses for this. Like, hold on, wait a minute. Straight up, like, why would a woman be gay and go find a female that act like a man? They call them studs. This is confusing me. And now you do what you want to do. I just want to know, somebody out there, if y'all fall into that category, that group, help me out. Because I really don't like being in that gray area. I remember once upon a time, though, I used to say, well, I don't understand how a person could be this or be that, especially speaking from a male perspective about males, you know, that are homosexual. And at the time, the queen that was in my life told me, she said, well, why would you? You sure right. And I ain't said nothing else about it in that regard. But as far as the females are concerned, because I'm a lesbian, if that's the case, I'm just saying, hey, you know, what? Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. You got it. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. So why would you go be with a woman that act like a man? Why not? And then she's gonna have to strap on some stuff and all of this. Y'all go too much. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? What you're missing is love. That's what you're missing. But back to parents.
I mean, I can't speak on that, you know.
No, you can't. Maybe somebody that fits the description. Check in with us. Help us out. Let us know why it is what it is.
I want to know that too. That'll be a good conversation. We should have a guest host on here to discuss that. Anybody watching, if you would like to come on the show and talk about your experience and explain to us and just break.
Don't judge nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you before, it's like this, right? Okay, when Pac said only God can judge me. You know, at the time, I'm thinking about somebody in the sky.
Which is nowhere in the Bible, by the way.
You see, okay, so trip. So, but if only God can judge me, why is it that cats go to the joint after being sentenced by a judge and get out and do the same shit? Why? Because they ain't judged they self. They didn't decide that it was time to stop doing what they were doing, or what they was doing was wrong. Once they make up their mind that that's what's going on, then that's when they didn't judge they self. Only God can judge me. Now you make up your mind to do what's right according to what you believe is right.
Right.
You see? Because I'm one of them guys that saw plenty of that. Man, look, I'm trying to tell you, man, when you got cats, man, acting like they standing at the plate, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, no, I got 1 strike, 2 strike. I just don't want this third one. But if I get this third one, you know what I'm saying? I'm going federal. You see? So you got cats to think like that. How did they come up? How was they raised? What was going on in their life for them to think that that's the way that they got to go and they don't have no other choice? It ain't no other road. I'm like, see, so this go back to that home training, that parenting, man. I know cats that's born in it, flat out. One of they old dude, the muscle, we going to go get these birds. But my old dude walking in the damn crib with the burner out. And niggas like, what? Why you got? No, but if you got a problem with these, you in the wrong business, nigga. See? That nigga a multimillionaire to this day because of how he was raised. You see? True story. No blemish on it. It's facts. Flat out. And I saw cats who mama had to go to work. Daddy wasn't never there, but was on the earth. You see what I'm saying? And turn around and he got to make his own fried bologna sandwiches. He got to try to learn how to wash his own clothes. You see what I mean? So is it his fault? Did he stealing out of the corner store? His mama ain't got paid yet. And all he wants is to eat. He hungry. But he no longer on the earth, though. He gone. He out of here. God bless the dead. Rest in peace to my nigga Yakubi Joseph Little Sledge. Flat out.
But that just leads me to think, man, like if we taught our kids how to grow food instead of going to the store, I'd never be hungry.
And that's what he said. You know what I'm saying? You'll never thirst to be hungry, though.
If you knew how to
go about doing it, though, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to learn how to till. You know, got to learn how to plant and know when to do it. You know what I'm saying?
If you can do it yourself, man, you don't have to worry about none of that. Like, but that also, like you said, that's like we keep our kids in a cycle. We don't teach them. Like back in the day, our people knew how to. They still do to this day, but just on a large scale. Like our people were very agricultural. You know, we were very in tune with nature, and it's like right now. That's not what's going on. Like we don't teach our kids about nature no more. Like the very thing that we are, like we talk about, like this is the thing, like we talk about a lot of times we get in that conversation where we talk about, you know, like the black spirit and the black soul and stuff. But it's like we be skipping a big old portion of connecting back to the earth, connecting back to nature, where we come from, you know? So it's just like, you know, that's some of the stuff we got to start incorporating into our parenting now is like, you know, teaching our kids how to grow foods, teaching them like that way they know how to do stuff. Like we see it in movies all the time. Like, right. You see, and again, not to, this ain't to be, you know, racist or prejudiced or anything. I'm only using this as an example, but like white people teach their kids this shit all the time. Their kids know at 4 or 5 years old know how to shoot. Know how to
shoot a rifle, bro. Flat out.
Think about that. We be scared of our kid to do this, and that. Dude, their children are shooting weapons. Their children are ready. If some crazy stuff happens, their child is trained enough to know. In some way, if it came down to it, their child is trained in a way to defend themselves.
That's right. That's right.
Better than other people. So it's like than grown-ups. Like you could get taken out by a kid. Think about that. So it's like we teaching our kids what? TikTok.
Hey man, it was a Time Life magazine, a National Geographic magazine that came out some years back. And it had like, it was like Honduras, or it had something to do with like kids in war. Like the strap was bigger than the child. You know what I'm saying? Like you got ammunition belt, and you know what I mean? Like war paint. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, you know, and serious about it. Like this is life. You see what I mean? Nah,
It's all about the environment that you're growing up in, though.
That's
Like,
right.
if you are someone who does these type of things, it's like it's only natural that you're gonna teach your children those things. They're gonna be invested in seeing what you do. Like, like my son knows that I have a weapon, and he sees it. He knows it's not a toy. It's different from all his other stuff that he got. And it's like I don't want him to be scared of weapons, right? Because a lot of time
I want him to be aware.
they be scared of stuff. They be like, oh my God, like I want she's like, no, like, yeah, this is daddy got his thing. He got that thing on him. So it's like,
oh yeah, I mean, hey, now don't get me wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? Before I had a legal strap, I've been strapped, man, since I jumped off the porch, man, since way back. I'm talking about the 38, you know what I'm saying? Snub, you know what I mean? The tape chip bag and the glove and all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So my kids definitely came up around the Chinese SK folding stock, you know what I'm saying? Hollow tips, you know what I mean? Banana clips. Yeah, before extendos was a thing. You see what I'm saying? Real talk. You know what I'm saying? 25 in every room under the couch. I ain't taking shit without a strap in the bathroom with me. I ain't getting caught slipping at all because I was living in the gutter, in the bricks, in the mix, flat out. I'm telling the truth, flat out. So that wasn't the way to raise the kid, though, at the time. But guess what? I was in the shit. So I'm explaining to my kids like, no, don't touch this, don't do, but this is what this is. And they saw me shoot the strap on New Year's and all of that. They know what it's about. But no, this is not a toy because I slept with the strap on the nightstand. I mean, yeah, so I gotta have some trust around me. The woman I'm laying next to and the kids that's in the other room. Was it reckless? Yes. Now that I'm old enough, hindsight is 2020. Yes, I was crazy as hell. You see, but I was 20, 19, 20, 21, 22 on my own, paying my own bills, then moved out of the crib. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I felt like I was grown in junior high. You know what I'm saying? Period. This is a true story because of how I grew up. You see what I mean? But I'm telling my son, do as I say, not as I do. But he riding with me to make drops. He don't really know what's going on, but he know.
Yeah. No, that happened to me growing up, man.
Like, you see, so that's what I'm talking about.
I used to be in the car rolling to them spots. Pops like hop out the car, go up in the spot, come back out. It's like,
oh yeah, we see you. We know it's time to get ready to ride out, but we still got like 3 and some change. You know what I mean? So we was just making sure that we
Hey, absolutely though. Thank y'all for tuning into this podcast. Yeah. It has been a great conversation.
Always though, bro. It's nothing less. You know what I'm saying? Than the best. Whenever we, you know what I'm saying, speak and profess, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Unapologetically Black. Every Monday, 8 p.m., depending on where you at. It might be 9, it might be 6. You know what I mean? It's all good. But wherever you are, it is what it is. And we appreciate y'all. I'm Nicky Scarpo. Now I carry Christ inside, saying chapters and rhymes poetically organized. And my man.
Absolutely. Wild Star Izzy. Follow me at Atmosphere Productions. If you need anything, videos, we got you. We do it all. Atmosphere Candles too. Come get your hot, fresh, great all natural candles. We keep it popping. And again, shout out to the single fathers doing it once again, because I'm gonna say it enough.
Because it is Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? This type of thing. Yeah.
Single.
You gotta celebrate our Thank you.
I ain't a single daddy, I got my wife and everything. But shout out to y'all doing it because I know it's hard.
Right. There you go.
But trust me, like I watch my kids. I know it's hard. If I had to do it.
Hey, that's hilarious right there, bro. He said, I watch my kids. So I'm not going to imagine if it's you got to hold it down.
I had to do that all the time. Like, oh, boy. And by yourself, like, dude, I'd be waiting for my wife to come in there and be like, relief.
Yes.
Relieve me.
Like a security guard that's been on the post and they late. Because, you can't leave the post until your relief comes, you know what I'm saying? Just like the nurses, they can't leave till their relief comes. Please believe me.
Baby, where you at?
For sure.
Where you at?
Already. For sure, y'all. Hey, we appreciate y'all more than y'all know. Please, you know what I'm saying, tune in next week. You know what I'm saying? Don't leave us alone. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to rap and do what we do, bro. On the phone, maybe we go get a drink. You know what I'm saying? Different day of the week already.
Absolutely, man. One love once again. Thank y'all. And I guess we out.
We out.